All right, so welcome everybody to the July 9th North Carolina Change Control Board. I'm hosting this for the first time, so you guys bear with me. I may forget something or go for something weird. Anyway, if you have questions, just as usual, type them in the chat or just say something out loud and I'll try to respond the best I can. I got a couple house cleaning notes. First off, the next month's Change Control Board will be on Monday, August 19th. I'll set a reminder when I send out today's notes, only because there's a conflict of interest with me training a different county. We have a new district coming up. Okay, so let me kind of go through the agenda here. So we had a release last month. There were notes posted in the IMS main menu page. They should probably still be there since it's pretty early in the week. If they're not there and anyone wants them back up, I can have John or Shelly post those back up for another week or so. The next part is the items that we're going to be working on this month, so you can kind of view those at your leisure. Some of these we will be discussing in the topics below. Okay, so item number 1, we have the My Apps development product or development, and we have that still in development. We've got a couple more forms that we're working on. We're having a demo/training session on July 23rd to review the app and what we have in it right now. We've received some feedback from some counties already, what they like and they don't like. What we plan on doing is, once we compile all that information from all the different counties, we will release a document letting you know what we're going to do this version and then what we're going to do later on down the road, if it's possible. So please feel free to go ahead and send us any feedback you have if you're using this already in the test environment. Or no, we're doing that. Are we doing that on demo, John?
Yeah, they're logging into demo.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a test environment. It's not called test; it's called demo. But yeah, so anybody who's using it who contacted customer support and got set up with an account for that, so you could give it a test run. Continue to do so as you have time, and continue to send us your feedback. And like Trevor said, we're going to try to address all the feedback items on when we get together on the 23rd to go over it. And at that point, we'll let you know which items we can take care of with the first version of the release, which items would be future enhancements. And, I don't know if there's any yet. We haven't finished going through them yet, but if there's any that are not doable for some reason, and we'll explain why and everything. But so we've gotten feedback from several people already, so we got a pretty extensive list of comments, suggestions, and stuff to go through. We'll be getting together, go over those internally next week. Trevor, myself, and a couple of my lead developers, and we'll go through all those items and come up with a plan. And I don't know how many of them will be in place by the time we get together on the 23rd. That version that we review on the 23rd may still be the same version that you're actually using right now. So we'll go through that, give a demo for those, so those who haven't used it yet can see it again, see where we're at with it. And then after the demo of it, we will address each item. We'll just go through a list of them.
Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. We'll go to item number 2 on the list, and that is the AR redesign. We've completed version 1. Version 2 is still in progress with that work item that you see associated with it. That's moving along. Number 3 is report 47. There was 2 parts to this. The first part was completed. The part 2 is now in development, and I believe it's supposed to go to QA pretty shortly. So that's scheduled for the end of the month. That's in this release. Also, this is some of these things are up here in the our current release efforts. All right, number 4. This was the checklist app that was suggested by Mark Oliver in Mecklenburg for the owner managers, use. We are still going to hold off on this one until we release and we're comfortable with the full release of the My Apps. And I think we were slated to have that for everyone. We were wanting that to be for everyone on September 1st. So we were hoping everybody would migrate over to that at that point. Once that's done and everything's comfortable, we can go ahead and start the development effort for that application.
Hey, Trevor, I just want to comment on with that My Apps about the migration. The new mobile app will be available September 1st is our target date. It's not going to be a flip a switch. It'll be a very gradual transition. We'll let everybody kind of do it when it's convenient for you guys. It's not like on September 1st you guys have to stop using one and use the other. The current mobile will be available for a while.
Right.
And we can schedule times if you think you need additional training, or the installation of it is much easier than the current mobile. And actually, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically you can go to either the Windows Store or the Apple Store, depending on which device you're using, download the app, and the only thing you need to do is set up the server settings, which customer support will supply you.
Right.
And are there QR codes involved with those, Trevor?
There are QR codes. All you really have to do is once customer support sets up a username and password for you, they will email that out. You can just scan that with your device's camera, and it will put all the settings in there for you automatically, so you can just start running it. So, and I see in the chat box that Kimberly, Iredell counties want access to that, so I will. Shelly, are you on the call? I'll have Shelly. I'll email Shelly for that. Get that set up for you, Kim. Okay. All right. So the next one. This is the Report 45D that also is in progress. Our release date is at the end of the month for this one also. I believe this one actually went into QA this week, or is going to, is from what I remember in yesterday's discussion. Okay, so number 6 is the cold holding project. We heard back from Jackie Glenn. We have discussed this briefly internally with our team. Currently, we need some more information from her, and at that point we should be able to start our development efforts in August. There's quite a bit going on between the quality assurance, the risk assessment, and there was another one also. Okay, so number 7, the story 86992. This is the risk assessment. We were waiting on information from Shane Smith. I sent him another email yesterday afternoon late. I have still yet to hear back from him. So once we realize, or once he gives us the go-ahead that everything's been finalized and he can give us drafts of whatever forms, documentation, business rules, then we can go ahead and move forward on this development effort. So if anyone has any questions.
Trevor?
Yes.
Hey, Shelly was trying to answer you.
Okay.
And it shows that she was muted by the organizer.
Oh.
There goes. Now she's unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't know what's going on. But with the demo version of My Apps, if they could email customer support and give us 1 or 2 usernames per demo account. We don't want to give everybody access to demo. It takes a lot of time to set everybody up. So if they can just designate a couple people and send the request to customer support. We'll reply back with the usernames, the instructions, and the QR code.
Okay.
And Trevor, John, this is Stacy. I got a quick question.
Sure.
Wow, she's talking about the mobile app, and you're saying it'll be available and you said the other one will be available for a while. Is it going to be a problem if a county wants to put one person on the new app and leave everybody else like they are for a short while until that one person uses it, gets a little bit proficient with it in order to help the other ones when they go live with theirs? Is there going to be a problem with one county using two different methods?
Nope.
I don't see a problem with that at all.
No, not at all. We've had that was actually how Salt Lake did it when they went live with it. They had they took a couple of their inspectors and put them on a new mobile app while everybody else continued doing what they're doing. Not a problem at all.
Because quite honestly, I mean, I think Beer's got the demo version, but truly, you really don't have time to sit down and play with a demo version and trying to do your everyday work at the same time. She's going to probably get more with it when it goes live and let her use it. And I'd rather have one person lost than everybody. So that's proficient, and then she can troubleshoot the other ones as I bring them on one at a time. So if that's not a problem, it's going to make sure it wouldn't be.
Nope, not a problem. And actually, I would say that's probably the recommended way to do it for everybody. That's a good point, Stacy.
Yep. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one, which was item number 8, the QA module. Currently, the QA module, we have not done anything with that. You're going to have to remind me, John, were we waiting on information on this one also?
On the QA module?
Yeah, I know we started some of it.
No, it's the QA module is going to be deployed this coming weekend.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The IMS version will be. We'll be working on, excuse me, the mobile side of it will be in the new mobile app. So initially, it's only going to be available in IMS.
Right.
That is going through its final stages of QA, and we should be wrapping that up this week and deploying it this weekend.
That's right. Okay, so the next one is the variance. We had discussed that internally yesterday in our team meeting, and we have a release date of August 3rd, so basically the end of this month. So that should be wrapping up. The next one is Iredell County. It was the permissions issue. Who was on? Hey, Kimberly, can you hear me? Are you guys having issues? The last thing I heard from Kate was that everything has resolved itself. I just want to make sure that's still the case. I can email you later on. Okay. So the next one, I had added some items to this agenda that came in after I sent out the agenda last week. The one that is of concern that I want to make sure, it's 119.601, which had to do with adding custom fields to, or not custom fields, I'm sorry, removing excess. Let me see what it was at. 119.601. That was going to be this one. Do a quick query for that one. Yeah, that was removing fields that were not relevant. So what we were going to do with this one basically was to resolve this in the new My Apps. There would be a huge effort to do this project in My Forms versus the My Apps when we're less than 60 days out from going to the My Apps, or yeah, to the My Apps. So. All right. So that's all I had. I know that was kind of quick, 20 minutes here. Does anyone have any questions or comments at this point?
I'll hold mine until we talk about on-site.
It looks like we're about to head into that in just a second then. All right, so if you guys have anything else that you want to discuss as far as the food and lodging side, you can either email me, customer support, John, and we can go from there. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the on-site, so if there's no questions, then feel free to drop off. All right, so for the on-site part, there has been no changes. I don't think we've had anything at all over the past several months. So go ahead, Stacy, what do you got?
Well, it kind of goes back to the My Apps and food and that conversion and looking to the future as far as where we're going to be with mobile, because, you know, we use mobile entirely 100% for our on-site.
Right.
You know, I want to make sure, that there's no conflict of having the current mobile and the new mobile on one PC at the same time, because that's really the way it's going to have to be for me to be able to function with some of my folks, because we're going to be doing food in one version and still doing on-site in the other. And then kind of looking at where do we see the future of on-site going with this conversion, if it's going to go to the same thing, because I think it's going to be that's going to be a big task too, and just kind of making sure there's no conflict in that crossover when I have two applications from you guys installed on the same PC.
So in Illinois, we've already started the on-site conversion of the forms that they have for the on-site module that they use. I can show you probably. I don't know when we're going to have that in QA. I know it's in development now. It's not in quite ready for QA. Once it is, I could probably show you screenshots of how we're doing these things. We will have like the grid format, like, you know, that a lot of people use. I know you guys use the QuickPlat.
Right.
You'll still be able to use QuickPlat just as you normally do and attach those images to any of the forms. That's still going to happen. It's just going to be kind of like it's not going to be a standardized form, like, the state food form looks one way. It's not going to look exactly like what we currently have, but it's going to have all the same functionality in the same fields. It'll just be broken up into different pages from that point. But as far as using both applications, the My Forms, let's say you're going to do My Forms for on-site for a little while, and you're going to use the My Apps for your food and lodging on the same device, there should be no issue with that. They have two separate databases. I run both of those at the same time on my device. I have a Windows, just a laptop that I use whenever I'm doing development, and it runs fine on both of them. So there shouldn't be no issues with that at all.
Well, that's the thing. I know we've got to get to that point is seeing these forms, and that's the part. We when we talk about these mobile forms, is we work so hard to cram as much as we could on on one page as we could, and that kind of thing. And are we going to end up with a 6-page permit? What we're getting to. And I know we can't answer those questions right now, but when we're getting into developing this, I definitely want everybody be involved in it to see what we've got, because I don't think what we have now is bad at all. It's taking some massaging over the years, but I'd like to see what that's going to turn into by using this new app.
Right. Hey, John, do you think it would be possible for the July 23rd demo to possibly show some of the Illinois on-site that we've done?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, for sure.
Let me write that down.
I mean, I'd just rather address whatever issues that the rest of the group and I may have before you get too deep in it on our end.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just like up in the Illinois sections, I mean, they all had their different forms also, just like North Carolina. Every county did it differently. So we were able to, just the same thing that we did with, North Carolina, we did the same thing with Illinois. So that shouldn't be a problem. So let's go back to the topics to discuss for on-site. Literally, you can see on the very first one, it was March 8th, was the last time, or I'm sorry, February. Excuse me. They're not in order. John, did I put the wrong one in here for the on-site? Item number 1.
Wait a minute. Where you at? On the about the activities?
Yeah, all of this right here. It looks like these are not in order. I don't know if they're all over the board.
Yeah, they're in order.
Oh gosh, sorry. That was 2018. I thought I was
have to look at the year. I'm waiting on. I've given Stephen Berkowitz everything that we have.
Okay.
I sent him some sample reports, and he was going to look at them, and I haven't heard back from him. Okay. So I don't. At this point, it's kind of in his hands.
All right. Let me just make a note of that and then highlight it. Okay, so the next one, assignment of permit numbers. Yeah, we haven't done anything with that either. I haven't heard from anybody that was interested in this either. I will create a fourth one here. Updated. Okay. I see nothing in the chat box. Oh, wait. Let me scroll down a little bit. Kimberly, will specific instructions be sent on how to download the new form and products? And yes. Okay.
Trevor, Stacy again.
Yep.
Just kind of refresh my memory, and I'll be honest, I don't have a printed permit in hand, but I know we've talked about this in the last couple of months in relation to on-site. As we were looking to clean up some of the forms of some of the things that we see when we're filling it out in mobile that actually carry over in print. When you give it to a client, such as the characters remaining, things that were beside, like on a Eastern IP where it says characters remaining,
Yep.
750, or where it said, where we click fill sheet or CA up at the top in order to bring that other form up. Did we ever clean those up as far as that's being hidden?
We did not. That was this right here. But now that you mention it, for the on-site piece, that might be relevant to do for the on-site versus the food and lodging side, since food and lodging is going to be on the My Apps very shortly.
Well, that's what I was thinking when you said kind of holding on. I'm like, well, this is the on-site. It's probably going to be there for a little while.
Yeah. So John, we're gonna have to readdress this. Maybe the food and lodging side, we don't address that in the my apps, but
It's just get rid of the things we see that the client
Right.
doesn't need to see.
So yeah.
Let me take a look at that one. What was that number, Trevor?
It was 119601. Let me pull up one of his forms.
You just put it like an Eastern IP, something like that. There you go. See right there where it says fill sheet CA at the top, where it says fill sheet CA question mark.
Yep.
See, that's stuff that we click to get it to generate or pop up, but that doesn't need to print when we get it to the client.
Right.
Same thing down lower on the form where it's site modifications and those lower boxes over to the right, and I don't see it on your form. Of course, let me move this box and I probably the characters remaining. See, all that prints.
Yeah.
When you give it to a client as well, and it just kind of looks messy.
Okay.
Trevor, I forgot about the on-site side of that. I'll reactivate that story right now.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll put that, we'll groom that next Monday in our planning.
Okay.
And if they'll just review any of those on-site forms that's got those kind of issues, stuff that just the client doesn't need to see, that'd be great.
Yeah. I can go ahead and get you a list of those forms too, John. I think we've got about 12 on-site forms. Maybe not all of them have this kind of stuff on it, though.
They don't. There's some, like soil evaluation forms, probably fine.
Right.
Hey, Trevor, are those crystal forms or are those mobile PDFs?
Just mobile PDFs. And the only thing we have to do is add regions to these.
Okay.
And once you add the region, you activate the region in the before print event.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's back active again.
Okay. Let me change this then. All right, so I will actually put that in the on-site piece since those are all on-site forms. All right, anybody have any other questions, comments? Looks like I got out easy, John. It's only been like 30 minutes.
It's the fastest call ever.
All right, well, that's all you guys have. Then I'll go ahead and stop recording and